Hey, welcome to the Bodies Built Better podcast. I'm your host, Jackie Tan, and it is so good to have you here with me today. This show is all about human performance, and the goal is to really cover everything it means to perform at your best. So we really try and look at all of the holistic approaches that it takes to uncover your potential, to look at what the science says, but also what the science is yet to say. So I'm super excited to have you here. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see that I'm currently holding the handheld mic today. I was just doing a bit of experimentation, see what we like. But this will give me the opportunity to travel around a bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing what will come of this when I have a few people on the list of places I can get to and talk to other than in this space here. So that's really cool and exciting and things to watch out for. But on today's episode, I'm super excited to bring you the inspiring story of pro boxer Kate McLaren. Kate is a force to be reckoned with inside the boxing ring, and her journey to becoming a professional fighter is nothing short of remarkable because in only 12 short months of starting boxing, she became a pro boxer, which blows my mind. Her dedication and hard work has earned her the admiration of fans, fellow athletes, and none other than four-time world boxing champion and coach, Jeff Fenech. Throughout this episode, Kate shares her journey into boxing, the challenges she's faced along the way. We'll delve into her training regimen and her mindset before and during the fights, and the strategies she employs to stay in control and at the top of her game. We also talk about the incredible charity she has started with business partner Nicole Hansen called It's Her, supporting females through movement, mindset, and motivation. I loved chatting with Kate. She is one of the most incredible people where when she talks, you can feel her passion and her energy and her excitement of the sport. And it's super contagious. It's so awesome. So join us as we uncover the dedication, perseverance, and passion that drives Kate McLaren to be the best pro boxer there is. Kate, welcome to the Bodies Built Better podcast.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Jackie. I'm very excited to be here today.
Oh, I'm excited to have you. It's such a pleasure. I was doing my research and all of the stuff that comes up around you is your career from model to pro boxer. But what I find really incredible about you, besides those two careers and a massive career change, is the fact that you're also a business owner, you're a personal trainer, you have a charity which is just doing incredible work. So I'm excited to dive deep into that. But to get us started, if you could tell us a little bit about you and your journey into becoming a pro boxer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the lovely warm intro. That was beautiful. Okay, so I guess I'll start from when I was over living back home in London or Essex in the UK. Over there, I was doing a little bit of modeling at the time, a bit of print work, a couple of TV commercials, a few music videos, things like that. And then I decided to take the plunge and come and explore the wonderful Australia at the prime age of 19. And yeah, I guess that's when the journey really started. That was when I left home for the first time, and I definitely wasn't expecting to stay for as long as what I have done at the moment. And this is home. So I've been here just over 12 years now, and it's been an incredible journey for me. You know, like anyone's life we've got the ups and the downs in it, but it's just been such a beautiful place, and now I hold it very close to my heart, and I call this wonderful country home. So very lucky there. But when I came over, I started doing a little bit of modeling. I wanted to come to Australia to explore and travel. I did all of the East Coast in the camper van. And I decided from there I was going to get my first job over here and make this home for a little while. And, I've had jobs along the way. I've been in retail, I've been in recruitment, I've studied personal training and become a personal trainer. I've worked in gyms. I now run my own PT business. And from that, I now miraculously have turned into a professional athlete and a professional boxer, which is something that I never would have dreamed of. So, yes, it's been an adventure, to say the least, but it's been fantastic. Honestly, it's just been incredible. And the transition from modeling to boxing, when I look back and reflect, two completely different people. Kate McLaren as a model and who she was back then, and Kate McLaren as the professional athlete and the boxer. I've really learned through boxing who I am as a person, and I'll forever be grateful for that and for the sport. So that's a little bit of me.
That's incredible. And I would love to go a little bit deeper in that. What was it about boxing that taught you more about you?
I think, like you may look back on pictures of when I was modeling, and I was often hiding behind a full face of makeup. I was suffering with a lot of insecurities. I've always had a little bit of problems with food, in the sense of having to watch my weight and being told that coming to agencies or being in different agencies over in London trying to get signed, and them saying you're a little bit too big, you need to lose weight, stuff like that. So I've always kind of suffered with anxiety and just, I guess, not being content within myself. And I think that's why I strived so much to become a model in the beginning, was because I was trying to prove myself. And I think I was trying to figure out who I really was as a person, because I didn't really know, to be honest. And then I went through some hardship, and I ended up finding the love for boxing. And that's when I became Kate McLaren, and I lost the makeup, and I didn't have to hide behind anything or try and be someone who I wasn't. I have always loved sport. I've definitely always been quite competitive in my life. Sport is one thing that I've really excelled at, even through school. And when I started boxing, I think I was like an onion. I started to kind of peel back the layers, and now I'm kind of, I don't know, that person that's just like, this is me, this is what I love doing, it makes me feel good, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. I don't need to hide behind the mask anymore. So boxing is more than just throwing hands for me.
That's so incredible. And I don't know if I'm sure people can hear it, but I can see it when you talk about that modeling, that Kate McLaren, and then when you start talking about Kate McLaren now, the boxer, your energy completely changes.
Completely changes. And when you're telling a story and you kind of go back to that place in your head, the feelings come up.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed modeling. I did, don't get me wrong. But was I happy? Was I content? Did I feel lost in life? Absolutely. Yeah. And then I found boxing, and through boxing, oh my gosh, I've got the most incredible team around me. My support system is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Having Jeff Fennick as my coach, he's all about mindset and, the power of the mind. And he has changed so much for me, turning me into a professional athlete, but also I think he's turned me into a real woman. And just believing in me, to have someone there to believe in me. I've come from zero, no amateur career. I became a professional boxer at the age of 30. It's pretty unheard of. And Jeff saw the determination, the dedication, and the drive, and the fire inside of me, and the passion. And he knew we can do something here. So I'm extremely blessed, and I'm extremely grateful for that opportunity.
You know, that gives me goosebumps hearing you say that, like turning pro, elite athlete at 30. It just proves, you know, when you have all those right qualities, that you can achieve some pretty amazing things.
You can do anything, honestly. And that's one thing I have learned is, for people listening as well, if you're going on a journey where, even the younger people, you're feeling lost in life and you don't know what you want to do when you grow up, it doesn't matter. It's taken me to the age of 30 to find boxing, to fall in love with boxing. It wasn't like I even had to fall in love with it. I fell in love with it from the beginning. I just didn't know that in my head that I could become an athlete. And I think that was all down to me and having a lack of belief within myself, to think, actually, Katie, you love sport, you're passionate about sport, this is what drives you. Why have you not even considered competing or becoming an athlete, or, you know, going to the Olympics or Commonwealth Games, whatever it might be? I think that personally all came down to confidence. And again, all hiding behind the facade, hiding behind the makeup, and just feeling lost and not knowing where I'm going in life. But my one thing would be, if you know what you love and what you're good at, go for it. The sky is not the limit. So you can do anything in life. Anything is possible. If I can do it, so can you.
You're living proof.
I am living proof. So yeah, just go for it, guys. Do what you love to do and you will excel.
That's it. And it's incredible to think that, you know, when you hear about it, it seems like it's happened really quickly. And correct me if I'm wrong with the timeline here, but you started boxing in December 2020.
Yep.
And then your first pro fight was December 2021.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's that's 12 months where you've started and then and
Yeah.
you're pro. I mean, that blows my mind. Tell me about that 12 months, you know, from starting to working really hard to fighting and then going, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a pro.
Yeah. It was definitely like a pinch me moment. I was like, what is going on here? So I competed, first of all, in a corporate fight. So basically, you know, like those corporate fights where people can come, like businesses, they might have someone in the company that's fighting, and you kind of bring all the office along and support and cheer that person on. And that was my first ever boxing fight. And I ended up competing in that through coming out on the other side of a little bit of a difficult situation, and to distract myself and to take my mind off of, you know, all the negative things that were going on. I ended up going into, you know, a 12-week fight camp and saying, yep, at the end of the 12 weeks, I'm going to have my first fight, this corporate fight. But for me, in that 12 weeks, I just grew so much as a person. And I learned so much about myself, and I learned so much about mindset. This is when I really learned about mindset. And I was lucky enough to be able to cross paths with Jeff along the way. And towards the end, just before I had my fight, I did a few training sessions with Jeff. And he definitely said, I saw something new that I've never seen in someone else, in the sense of how badly I wanted to win this. And I think for me, it was just about overcoming this really dark period of my life. And yes, obviously we all want to win, we're competing, but for me, it was about winning for me, overcoming my mental health, and the journey and the road that I would say led me to success, in the way of being able to then be able to change my mindset and look back and reflect on everything that I'd gone through and where I was standing that day and the people around me and my support system.
Do you want to share at all your dark place?
Yeah, look, I'm happy to share a little bit about the dark place. I've spoken about it on a few other interviews before, but yeah, look, I December 2020, I went through a really challenging, difficult time with my mental health, and being obviously from the UK here on my own, I didn't have a support system around me, and I didn't have the right people around me, I would say, to help encourage, put me on the right path. And I found boxing, and boxing was what done that for me. So previously I was turning to partying and alcohol and surrounding myself with people with different values in life. And once I found boxing and started surrounding myself with the people from the gym who had the same vision and the same goals, that then really helped with my mental health and started to put me on the right path. And then, like I said earlier, 12-week fight camp and how much you can achieve and train your mind in 12 weeks to just keep pushing and getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning for your run and training in the afternoon and doing your recovery and watching what you're eating because you've got to make weight for a fight. I started to become really strong in the mind. And yeah, that was the turning point for me. And that was what I want to share with the world, basically,
Yeah.
is go on, sorry, good
Oh
support
no, I
system.
was just, yeah, exactly. That's right. That's what it comes down to. And, when you do have the right people around you, the right values and helping you achieve something, it does show that you can come out of those dark places and really flourish and thrive.
Absolutely. And the saying is so true. You become the 5 people you surround yourself with most. And I love that quote. I'm the biggest believer in that. You really do become the 5 people you surround yourself with most. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so grateful that I found boxing and I found Legends Gym in Kensington and all the guys in there that helped support me and get me started on my boxing journey.
So let's go back to that boxing journey. So you've had your 12 weeks and you've done your corporate match. What
Yes.
happens after that?
So then I started training with Jeff just before, obviously, and I get a phone call from Jeff after the fight. How did you go? Da, da, da. Yep, I got the win. I'm super excited, and I'm so grateful for all of your help. And I'm on top of the world right now. And I think back to where I am, or where I was 12 weeks ago, to where I am now. Like, life's grand, I'm really well. And it was back to recruitment. I was working in recruitment, so Monday back to recruitment. I was a bit like, oh, I loved my team, honestly, but it wasn't what made me. The passion wasn't there. And I went back to the office, and it was great. I had everyone in the office there, congratulations and little cards and stuff. It was really fantastic. And I get a phone call from Jeff, and he says to me, oh, I really would like to train you again, like, just because your fight's over, would love to train you and have the opportunity to teach you a few more things, because I can see how passionate you are about this. And I went to Jeff's, to the gym, and afterwards he basically said, I've been thinking, and would you consider going pro? I'd love to turn you into a professional athlete. Would you consider turning pro? And I was like, am I dreaming right now? And after that as well, like, I had this fire inside of me. I was like, I love boxing. Like, this is what I truly was born to do. I'm so passionate for this. And when he asked me that, the first thing, you go to your mind, you think, I'd love to do that, but then I've got rent to pay and bills, and I don't know how all of this works. I was just in recruitment on my salary, and that was life for me, 9 till 5, and then training after work. So my mind was like, oh, hold on, you need to kind of think this through a little bit. And then all of a sudden I was like, yes, yes. Like the heart was like, yes, this is what you want, do it. And I went into work and I said to my manager, I'm really sorry, I'm handing in my notice. I said, Jeff's offered me an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm going to do my dream job and I'm going to become a professional athlete and I'm going to compete professionally in boxing. And she said, that is just absolutely incredible. And they will back me the whole way. Off you go, Katie. And that was the journey started. And I remember tearing up and crying and just thinking, wow, like this is it. Like I'm finally on the right path doing what I absolutely love.
What a sensational story. Oh my. And so then okay. So now you're turning pro.
Mm-hmm.
Did you fight anyone prior to your first pro fight, or was it literally the corporate fight and then training first pro fight?
Corporate fight, training, getting an understanding. Obviously, we have Jeff's team, so I was watching what a lot of the boys were going through with their fights and their camps, and kind of getting a good understanding. It was almost like learning on the job, I suppose. I had the boys there. I was watching them sort of like training, cut weight, do their saunas right at the last bit, trying to drop weight. I was like, if I could do that. But I was so excited for it. Like everything I was seeing, I was like, yes, I just want to be a part of this. This is awesome. And yeah, the next year, I think it was, Jeff was like, right, first professional fight on the No Limit card. Biggest promoters in Sydney, you're on. And I was like, wow, okay. All right, let's do this.
Tell us about that first fight.
Yeah, I have to tell you about that first fight, and I'll tell you why. Because this first fight for me was obviously so exciting. There were so many emotions going through me at the time, but the nerves got the better of me massively. And this is why I've learned so much about mindset with boxing. So obviously when you're extremely nervous, you're going to gas out a lot quicker. So you've got the adrenaline pumping, your heart's going 100 beats per minute, and it's all a little bit too much. And if anyone is to watch that fight back, my first fight, it's on Fox Sports and KO, you see I'm panicking and it's all a little bit much. It's my first time performing, 1, in front of a crowd, 2, on the biggest promoter's show in Australia, 3, you've got your sponsors that you're wearing on your back and on your t-shirt, which obviously you want to make so proud, and you don't want to let down your team. And the one person as well, Jeff, I didn't want to let him down. He's given me the opportunity of a lifetime, and I did not want to let him down. And yeah, he was extremely, extremely proud of me, and I did get the win. I think I got a win on that one. No, did I get a win? I can't remember. I have to think back. I cannot remember. Sorry, but
I thought you did.
Did I get the win on that one? Yeah. I'm like, oh, I can't remember. You see how the emotions just, it was so much. And I remember sitting down, coming back to the corner. The first round, I was gassed, extremely gassed. And I came back to the corner and I remember Jeff just saying, right, breathe. It's all about your breath. Okay, we need to start slowing the breath down, which is then going to start slowing the heart rate down, which will then start slowing the mind down. And with that fight as well, from the second round, I started to get a lot more comfortable in the ring. Come the third round, I'd forgotten that the crowd, the cameras, the pressure, I was just there doing what I love doing. I was just Kate, throwing my hands, doing boxing, the one thing that I'm passionate about, and giving it my all. And
in your flow state.
Yeah, if I was to take anything away, which I have obviously taken from that fight is you have to go into a fight mentally calm, mentally prepared, and not get yourself into a panic. And I've learned through doing that, through my training with all of my other fights as well, it makes the biggest difference. The biggest difference. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Whether you win, whether you lose, you're stepping into that ring. No one's doing the work for you. At the end of the day, you're both winners. So yeah, I'm so passionate about boxing. I just love it. You can tell.
Yes, I absolutely can. And I love it. I love hearing about it. And I would love to know then from that, how do you practice, um, you know, building that resilient mindset going
Yeah,
forward?
so for me, I do a lot of recovery sessions. For example, this evening I've got a sports massage booked in. So that will be an hour, obviously, of relaxation, proper massage. But then from that, I normally tend to come home and unwind. So I put a lot of meditations on. I'll have like a few candles. I love my tea. I'm an English girl, so I drink a lot of herbal teas. And I get my mindset right. I do a lot of visualization stuff. So before my fights, leading up to my fights, I do a lot of visualization.
What does that look like?
I visualize myself, let's say, with my hand in the air. I visualize what punch is going to be, let's say, the knockout punch. If I'm going in for a knockout, I visualize, you know what, maybe I'm thinking for this fight, I might try and win on points. So I try and see it before I go in. And obviously, no one knows what's going to happen in the ring, but I do try and mentally prepare as much as possible for the best outcome. And I think you've got to believe it to achieve it.
Absolutely.
And and that's what I do. And I think it's really important to just take that time out, to just relax the mind and visualize, okay, this is how it's going to work. I'm going into this next fight. I'm doing 6-minute rounds for this one, and I've got a little bit of a game plan in my head. Game plan doesn't always go to plan in boxing, as you know, but for me, it's a mental preparation, and works. Personally, it's what works for me. I enjoy doing it, and it calms me down.
So what
Yeah.
do you do on fight day? Like you're about to get into the ring. How do you calm the body and the mind? Have you already
Yeah.
done, a meditation going into it, or is it
Oh,
something
yeah.
that happens? Yeah.
So on fight day, obviously, I'm back to sort of loading with my food. So a lot of hydrating. I get to eat. So I have a lot of carbs as well ready on fight day. But my team is around me a lot, the build up for the last sort of 2 days. But my manager's really good as well, in the sense of, like, he knows that I like time to just be by myself. I just want just that time where I can relax, unwind. I don't have the TV on or anything. Normally I'll put a meditation on and just kind of, just relax and visualize, but not think too much about the fight on fight day. I tend to think a lot about the fight on the lead up, but on fight day, I try and actually take my mind away from that, but I try and really calm everything down, just slow everything down, breathe a lot, bring through that like positive energy. And yeah, that's sort of what works for me. And then we go, and then first thing I'll be in the changing room, and Jeff will wrap my hands for me. And then once I know that my hands are wrapped, I'm still thinking and visualizing, and I'm like, right, it's showtime now. Kate the boxer is here. The wraps are on, the gloves are soon to go on. And then I start to kind of build the fire again. So I've kind of like slowed my mind down, and then I start to kind of like build again, because obviously I can't go into the ring being too zenny, but I need to do that for my mind. Yeah, so I then start to build the fire. And then once that's done, we normally go on to the pads, and we'll do a bit of a workout. And then you start to hear the music and the crowd, and you start to get hyped up, and then a few people are coming in and out of the changing rooms, and you start to really just get super excited and ready to compete. And it's the best feeling in the world. It really is.
That sounds amazing. You're painting the best picture because I'm getting pumped up listening to like, yes.
It's honestly awesome. But the time before, like my very first time, I didn't slow it down previously. It was like, I'm going to have a fight and I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and knock this person out. And it was too much. And I learned from that, right, I need to slow down. I need to get cool, calm, and collected. And then I need to rebuild. And then I start just before the walkout. I'm like, right, let's go. Like,
Let's
it's
do this.
time.
Yeah. And so tell me then, you know, when it's not going your way,
Yeah.
what are you telling yourself then, and is it just the breathing practices? Like, how do you manage when the plan doesn't go to plan?
My team. It all comes down to my team. I know that I've got the best people in my corner for me. And obviously, Jeff, my coach, will be there telling me, okay, you need to do this, or you need to throw more, or you're behind, whatever. I've got great management as well, and I rely on them to tell me, okay, Katie, you need to pull it together, or you need to work harder, or whatever it may be. I need them to tell me, be direct, and I'll go out there and give it my all.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
yeah,
It is about getting, you're the athlete, the coaches are there to coach you, and just relying
right.
on everyone's strengths to get you through.
Exactly right. Yeah.
One of the things which you've mentioned, Jeff says that, he saw the dedication in you and the passion and the fire to win.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that come from? Where did you learn that dedication and that discipline?
Um, I think for me, it was when I went through that really tough time, it was like, there's no plan B. Like, I knew I wanted this. I even visualized this. And it was the same with Fashion Week. I did London Fashion Week, and I visualized that. I'm very much all about the law of attraction as well. And I didn't actually get the spot for Fashion Week. And a couple of days prior to the show going on, I got a phone call that one of the girls was sick. Could I come in as the second option, as backup? And it was very similar what happened to me with boxing. I did the corporate fight, and I remember after my corporate fight, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I was born to do. And obviously I went back to recruitment and everything, but I was still visualizing and manifesting. And I think whatever it may be, the universe, higher self, I'm not too sure, someone was listening. And I got that phone call from Jeff, and I was just like, wow. For me, now I have to prove myself. He's given me the opportunity, and now I have to prove myself, and I cannot let him down. And he knew I was not going to let him down. And even to this day, like, I will not let him down. And I will 100% give it my all. My next fight on the 24th of March, like from now, so I've got 6 weeks to go, and that's why I said this earlier before we started recording. It's just been so busy because I'm now doing the whole handover to my team, and I've said to everyone, listen, 6 weeks now, it's tunnel vision. There is no distractions. Everything is in place to be able to look after itself. For me, it is just eye on the prize. I will not let my coach down, and I will not let my team down, and I will not let my sponsors down. So it's time to work.
Throughout all of this, the thing that you constantly come back to is the fact that you love it so much. And it's like, again, you've said, you found yourself, and how I truly believe when you do find the thing that you love, things do fall into place, and you're living proof of that.
Absolutely.
Which
Yeah,
I love. So now that you've got the 6 weeks, your tunnel vision, what do you do? What is the training like? What is the recovery like?
Yeah, well, it's all the recovery is just as important as the
Yeah.
training. And yeah, I'm very, very lucky with a lot of my sponsors. They look after me very well with my recovery. So we train hard, but we also recover really well. I'm very grateful for that. So to give you a bit of an idea on what training looks like, so I'll normally get my cardio in, which will be either in the AM or the PM of the day. So I do 2 training sessions a day. Cardio will be either early morning or later in the evening. And then I have my boxing like pad session or technique or whatever it may be in the afternoon. And then I will fit in recovery somewhere within that day. So for example, like I'll run in the morning, I'll do training with Jeff in the afternoon, and then I might do my recovery in the evening. So I don't do recovery every day, but I normally try and get it in sort of at least twice a week, 3 times a week. And I've realized along the journey how important that is. I think recovery is so important for your performance. And yeah, so that's pretty much what it looks like. So 2 sessions a week, 2 training sessions a week, 5 days a week. And then on the weekend, either a Saturday or a Sunday, I just do something light, normally like a 3K run, or I might do a longer run, but really slow it down. And then I'll take my rest day, which is normally a Sunday. Sometimes it changes though, it might be a Saturday. I just switch them up. And yeah, I take the whole day off of training, and I probably will go for a massage or do something. And yeah, that's what each week looks like really when I'm officially in camp. But then also recovery for me is like sitting back, watching some boxing on TV. My manager and I spend a lot of time together, and because that's fun as well, it's I'm learning, it's study, but it's relaxation for me. So yeah, it's good. I'm very lucky, very, very lucky, very grateful. And yeah, anything is possible, guys. Anything.
Yeah. You say you're lucky, but you're putting in the hard work. You're
Yeah,
doing the work too. You're making it
I
happen.
I have to say I do put in the hard yards. I work. I'm not afraid of hard work. That's something that my parents have drilled in me from a young age. And yeah, I do work hard, but I'm just extremely blessed to be able to do what I love to do. But I'm definitely putting in the hard yards. And the next 6 weeks for me, people are not going to be hearing from me. I'm going to be MIA, but I'm hoping to make everyone extremely proud on the 24th. So
Yeah. When you went pro, were there things that you didn't necessarily take into consideration beforehand that you really had to change going pro? Whether it was the training, whether it was the recovery, whether it was, how you eat and when you eat. Even I'm not sure if you do a lot around this, but even around the menstrual cycle.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I work with a fantastic nutritionist. I work with a lady called Jennifer May from Sydney City Nutrition. She's brilliant at all of this stuff. So didn't really have much of an understanding or idea about, nutrition or weight cut or anything like that until starting boxing. And to be fair, I didn't really have much of an idea about your menstrual cycle being an athlete. Like you kind of, as women, we have our cycle every month, but this plays a massive part in your training and in your eating. And if you're cutting weight on your cycle, it's pretty tough on your body, and you've got to make sure that you're doing it the right way. And I know I say this a lot in interviews, but it comes back to having the right team and the right people around you to help guide you with that. So yes, I've learned a lot along the way, and yeah, I've got great support around me. So yeah, very again.
Tell us more about that. How do you manage, you're cutting weight, maybe it is around part of the cycle where whether you shouldn't be, or whatever it is, you're not feeling great, maybe you're low energy, maybe the mindset is a bit off. Like how do you manage that, especially if you're then going into a fight or yeah.
Yeah, food is everything. And this is what Jen tells me, and I'm someone that's obviously done it, experienced it. So it is about understanding your body and giving it the right nutrients on what it needs, especially around the time of your cycle. Now, don't hold me to the statistics on this, but women do lose a percentage of strength the week before, obviously, their cycle comes. You have to take that into consideration for your training. And then if I'm cutting weight, your body and your hormones all change in that time. And that is something that Jennifer is, well, I just rely on Jennifer for that. So she'll change my diet plan slightly, depending on the time of month. And it seems to work for me. So yes,
Amazing.
good.
Get a good team around you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, support and I mean, like I'm not sure we're going to touch on the charity, but
That's
that's
where
then
we were just about to go.
it's her
Oh,
is the charity.
fantastic.
Yes. So, shall I give you a little bit of a rundown on that?
Please, everything.
Okay. So from obviously my journey and boxing and learning everything that I've learned along the way, I've decided to create it's an online support system for young females. And what that's going to look like once launched. So we'll have on-demand fitness videos. I'm not sure if you guys can see that.
Yeah,
Um,
brilliant.
so every week there'll be a new fitness video coming out. And then we're going to have real stories from real women of the community. So we're going out into the community, speaking to women who have gone through some sort of hardship in their life and how they've turned their lives around and now got to where they are in their life today. So they're sharing their stories on the platform, and that will be real stories by real women. Real women meaning real women in the community. It's not something you pick up in your gossip magazine, or this is, we're going out meeting with people in the community who are telling their life stories. We've got a wellness section on there as well. So it's going to be all tips and tricks, wellness, anything that may be able to help you with that. And we're trying to keep everything low cost, because is designed specifically for young females. So sort of anywhere between 10 to 18, but it's open to all females. But we're just thinking, if we can keep it low cost, especially with inflation and everything going on at the moment, that hopefully would be really helpful. And then we have the nutrition section, which is Jen. So I've got Jennifer, wonderful Jennifer from Sydney City Nutrition. She is going to be looking after everything nutrition on the platform. So there'll be videos on there for everyone to access and get a better understanding on the importance of food. And then finally, we come to my favorite word, support. The support section, which, as you can tell, I'm extremely passionate about. And this here is basically going to be like an online library of different organizations that are out there, any type of support that you can possibly think of. So no matter what it is that you're going through in your life, may it be mental health, may it be finance, may it be you need advice or you need to speak to a women's health doctor, any type of support will be on here. So you'll be able to then go onto the platform, type into the library what it is you're looking for. The videos will come up about the organization, what they do, what type of support they offer, and how to get in contact with them. So that pretty much is a rundown on what's to come with the It's Her Foundation.
Okay, that is so incredible. And yes, your word is support, but that is because it is a really, really important word, a part of life, about of human connection. It's just, it must be so rewarding to be able to give back, and especially to young women and women who really need it. Um, just the transformations you must see as well must be phenomenal.
Jackie, like through boxing has opened so many doors for me in the way of like being able to help young females feel heard and empowered through the sport. And through working in the communities, and I've done a lot of volunteer stuff, there's a lot of young women who were in the situation that I was in 2020, and they have the same problem. There is no support around them, or they're lost and they don't know how to find the right support. And that's when I was like, I need to create something to help support these young girls and to empower them through fitness, movement, and mindset. And look, I really, really hope that this system and this charity can help change many, many females' lives. And it's not just females. I also work, or I basically, we have a partnership with another fantastic friend of mine. His name is Taha. He does everything similar to It's Her, but he does it all for the males, so all for the boys. Yeah, so there's a couple of charities and organisations where him and I collaborate together. We'll go into the organisation and we'll run a program for the girls and the boys. So it's all coming together really, really nicely. And I really, really hope that It's Her can help support and change people's lives for the better. So yeah.
I'm sure it will, and I'm sure it has already. If people want to know more about It's Her, how can they find out?
Yeah, so the website is itsher.com.au. It isn't officially launched yet because we are going to be having a launch for it. And then we've got the Instagram, which is it's her underscore IG. So you can check that out. And I post a lot of stuff on my personal Instagram as well, which is just Kate McLaren Boxer. So you can also find the page through that. So yeah, please like, share, and tell everyone about it. And hopefully, once we're up and running and live, we'd love to hear people's feedback. And if there's anything that you think we can add, please let us know.
Wonderful. We'll have all of that in the show notes. Kate, you've been amazing. I know you've got your fight in 6 weeks' time. Besides that, what else have you got going on, and what are you really looking forward to this year?
Yeah, easy. Look, there's a lot happening this year. It's really, really exciting. And I think you can tell just from the smile on my face that I'm super excited for 2023. Obviously, we've all had a bit of a shocker for the last couple of years with COVID and everything, but I really feel like the energy's shifting and things are changing for 2023. The borders are back open. Myself and my team are super keen to get overseas and get more fights internationally. That's definitely on the cards for 2023. The same with the charity. Obviously, I've got the launch coming up with the charity. And I'd like to eventually be taking this into multiple states, working more in the community, volunteering, meeting people from all walks of life, and doing the best I can to give back as much as possible, and hopefully continue to win fights. And eventually, I still have my eye on winning a world title.
Yes, absolutely.
It's what I want to do. It's what I'm passionate about. And I think if you've got the passion, you can do absolutely anything. So I'm going to go for it.
Absolutely. Oh, Kate, you're amazing. I love talking with you. Your energy is just so infectious. Like, many times throughout this conversation, I've had goosebumps. I'm like, yeah, getting pumped up. To finish off, let's We're going to go with two things today. I want to ask you a question, and then I want you to ask the question. So, for the first thing,
Mhm.
what is your advice for someone looking to pursue a career in whether it's professional boxing or whether they just want to become a professional athlete in general?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it definitely comes back down to that team or that coach. So finding the right person to be able to open the right doors for what you're trying to do. So if it's boxing, obviously going into a boxing gym, finding a coach that can take you through the amateurs and then maybe go on to then competing in the pros. So yeah, I think it's the same for anything that you want to do. It's about finding the right support around you. So yeah, that's my advice: is do your research, find out what you need. Maybe a coach, maybe, I don't know, a recruiter, whatever it may be, and reach out and say, look, this is my vision, this is what I'm aiming for. Is this something that you could help me with?
Amazing. And lastly, I would love for you to give a question to the audience, a reflection questions that they can ask themselves walking away from this episode.
Okay, my question would be, what do you do in a day for yourself? Something that you do for you. What is it? Do you take 5 minutes to meditate? Do you take yourself for a walk, or do you find that more of a chore? What is it that you do in your day for you?
Brilliant. You are sensational. Thank you so much, Kate, for joining me today, and all the best for a spectacular 2023.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you so much. I'm really, really excited and appreciate the opportunity to obviously be on your incredible show.
That was Kate McLaren. Make sure you head over to the show notes. We're going to have the link to her next boxing match on the 24th of March. I'm sure you can watch that via online. So we'll have that available so you can check her out and support her. Also, we'll have a link to her charity, It's Her. To my knowledge, it's not yet up and running, but it's all going to be there so that it's ready to go for you to dive into and support as well. And of course, check out and learn more about it as well. She was awesome. I hope you enjoyed that show, and I hope you got an idea or even a feeling of how amazing she is, not just as a person, not just as an elite athlete, but also her passion and dedication to helping others as well. She's just incredible, and it was such a fun conversation to have. In fact, we chatted for maybe 20 minutes afterwards. It was so much fun. We just hit it off. She's awesome. So make sure you go and support her. I'll have her Instagram details as well in the show notes so you can follow her journey. As always, I really appreciate you joining. I was going to say chatting with me. I'd love for you to chat with me. So if you do have anything to say, make sure you either get in touch via Instagram or with an email, or if you do, I think now on Anchor, potentially on Spotify, they do those voice messages. So if you want to leave me a voice message, I would love to hear from you. But thank you for joining today. I really appreciate you. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and leave a review, because these things all help this podcast keep growing. Again, thank you for joining me. Have the best day, week, month, and year. Stay awesome, and we'll catch you next time.